What if I told you a company had the technology to dominate the future? A company saw the disruption coming decades before everyone else. A company literally invented the product that would change the world. And yet, that same company collapsed. This is not the story of a startup that failed. This is the story of Kodak, a company that once controlled nearly 90% of the photography market, and a company that became one of the greatest examples of how success can become your biggest weakness. Let's understand what every entrepreneur, creator, and business leader can learn from Kodak's billion-dollar mistake in the 1970s and 1980s. Kodak wasn't just a company. It was photography itself. People didn't say, take a photograph. They said, take a Kodak moment. That's how dominant the brand had become. The company was generating billions of dollars through film rolls, cameras, and photo processing services. Its business model was brilliant. Sell cameras at affordable prices, then make massive profits from film. Every picture people clicked generated revenue. Every memory captured strengthened Kodak's empire. Business schools today call this a highly profitable recurring revenue model. Everything looked perfect until something extraordinary happened. In 1975, a Kodak engineer named Steve Sasson built the world's first digital camera. Yes, the first digital camera was invented by Kodak itself. During multiple interviews later in his career, Sasson explained that when he demonstrated the technology, executives were fascinated but also nervous. The camera didn't require film, and if digital photography became mainstream, Kodak's entire business model would be threatened. The company faced a classic business dilemma: protect the present or embrace the future. Unfortunately, Kodak chose protection over transformation. And that's where the real problem began. Business professor Clayton Christensen described this phenomenon as the innovator's dilemma. Successful companies often fail not because they can't innovate, but because innovation threatens their existing profits. Kodak wasn't blind. They knew digital technology was coming. They had the patents, they had the engineers, they had the resources. What they lacked was the willingness to disrupt themselves. While Kodak hesitated, competitors accelerated. Companies like Sony, Canon, and later smartphone manufacturers embraced digital technology aggressively. The market was evolving, consumer behavior was changing, and Kodak was still defending yesterday's business model. This is a critical lesson. Markets don't reward past success, they reward future relevance. By the early 2000s, digital cameras became mainstream. Soon after, smartphones transformed photography forever. Consumers no longer needed film. No film meant no recurring revenue. Kodak's most profitable business started disappearing. The company attempted a digital transition, but by then, competitors had already built powerful ecosystems. In 2012, Kodak filed for bankruptcy protection. Imagine that. The company that invented digital photography lost the digital photography revolution. Not because it lacked innovation, but because it lacked adaptation. Today, Kodak's story is taught in business schools, leadership seminars, podcasts, and executive boardrooms around the world because its lesson is timeless. Success creates comfort. Comfort creates complacency. And complacency creates vulnerability. Whether you're a startup founder, content creator, a freelancer, or a multinational corporation, the biggest threat is rarely your competitor. It's the belief that what worked yesterday will continue working tomorrow. Because in business, the future doesn't belong to the strongest. It belongs to those who adapt before they are forced to. And Kodak is proof of that. If you enjoyed this business case study and want more deep dives on companies like Nokia, Netflix, Blockbuster, Apple, Amazon, and Tesla, subscribe to the channel. Because the best business lessons are hidden inside the biggest business failures.